Is this a family show or an adult family show? Because there have been some moments where, you know, I love the brash humor, for lack of a better word, and but there have been a couple moments where I've actually sort of blanched a little bit, involving Dan's character, you know. Little Travis, you know, his ears might turn red occasionally, or his eyes. How do you guys find that balance between, you know, it's a 9:30 show, but it's also right after Modern Family? How do you guys balance the sort of, you know, naughtiness with the family stuff? I say really well because it's a show with heart and it's very irreverent. But is that tough for you guys? And I'm going to ask a million more questions before I let you answer. And are you dealing with the broadcast standards people a lot?
I think, honestly, there's kind of a bit of a freedom in doing it at 9:30 because, like, everyone's family here in my family, I think especially, we talk like that. You know, we don't, the normal family conversation, for me at least, and for a lot of my friends, was very blue. You know, you could sit around the table and talk about these kinds of things for hours and hours at night. So I feel like I'm blessed that we get to write a show where people talk like they actually talk, and you're not consciously guarding the conversation because, oh my gosh, I don't want to get too blue, or I don't want to get too dirty, or I don't want to get too, you know, whatever. So I like adult family show is a good term, and I certainly don't think the show should be on at 8 o'clock, but I feel like the people on the show talk more realistically than maybe a lot of other shows on.
Well, this show isn't as crude as a PG-rated movie, you know? I mean, you know what, the one thing that's tough, broadcast standards and practices, is, let me start by saying I love Modern Family, fantastic show. I'm a fan, I watch it. They can, you know, have a dog butler that he's essentially having sex with, and two guys' naked asses touch. And our show is so policed now that I think we had to edit out. Like in that show you just saw, they changed that for you guys because it used to say, you know, when the gorilla killed the cat by trying to make love to it, which apparently is too crude because it's Cougar Town, you know, and...
But we might have pissed him off because we said the gorilla killed the cat by trying to make love to it, and then the cat exploded. I think that was too much. Kind of pushed that a little too far.
Pushed.
So...
Yeah. He pushed. But look,
that should have stayed.
I feel like it's not a show for kids, but I feel like there's a bunch of people out here, and I want to throw it to Dan, that I had this and Kevin had this with their moms, that my mother, right or wrong, spoke to me like was an adult, you know, from age, you know, 12 on, and we had kind of that weird dynamic. So it was wrong. Yes. My parents, much like Courtney would be in this show, my parents, I'm 41 and my dad's only 62. My parents were very young and they felt like contemporaries. And I think the reason we're able to pull it off is because Dan, as an actor, never seems like a victim. Do you know what I mean? And I think sometimes he seems like the smartest character on the show. You know, and
you just said that.
But
that's my boy.
I mean, he's a guy Kevin and I saw on Aliens in America, and when we were doing this, we said, you know, we need, if there's going to be a kid that Courtney's character is going to be this open and frank with, it has to be someone that everybody that watches doesn't immediately feel sorry for and feel like he's being abused. And I don't think there's been one moment that you felt like that kid is the worse for wear. You know what I mean? I think it got it fine.
Yeah, all the characters have heart. It's
on camera.
Yeah.
Is that?
On camera.
On camera.
Off camera, he gets tons of shit.
A thing a lot of people don't know, Dan Bird in real life is 36.
Been divorced.
Now, Dan, you've got this sort of a young Tom Hanks thing going, and
you got Tom Hanks?
Damn! That's impressive,
wow.
Dan.
Yeah.
Well, with a touch of like running with...
If you had said old Tom Hanks thing going,
a tiny...
I saw you in a dress, and it's kind of like, what does that remind me of? Bosom Buddies, Tom Hanks?
But you've got like, there's a running with scissors thing going on a little bit, which it's a nice, you know, kind of balance. And I'm just curious, what was your growing up?
I think I probably had a slightly more traditional upbringing than what is presented for Travis. You know, my parents have been married for 25 years now, and you know, I'm from Georgia, so I come from sort of small town, southern type community, and but there's something about this that still like rings very true to me. You know, I mean, it does feel like maybe slightly more contemporary for Mother and Sons to be like discussing things so openly and honestly with each other. But I think what you really walk away from in their relationship is that the undertone of like how much they love each other and how much they care about each other, and that's why they can have that